time we drop it. It's another week, another episode with me, Vic Pardal, loudest white boy on African soil, joining us at Spin Sessions HQ right here. Welcome. This week, ladies and gentlemen, I hook up with a big man and a big personality, the man behind the biggest spinning on African continent, the biggest spinning event. We call it the World Cup of Spinning. You know who I'm talking about. Big man, big personality with a huge smile. But just before we get into that, let me tell you about my past few weekends. I've been to the last few weekends, I've been to 2 spin events, one down in Kuruman, another one up here in Nümbigate, and another one here in Joburg. Don't want to get too much into that. What I do want to get into is the people and the personalities, specifically the spinners that have blown me away, are all under the age of 21. Both young, female and male. 2 personalities I'm going to highlight. Kini, my man, you ripped it up at Kuruman. Boy, you had that pitch on fire. I salute you. Damn, your skills have just blown up. Female, yo, Kayla girl, let me tell you, man, ain't no one touching you right now. Don't respect to all the female spinners out there. I respect everyone in the pitch. But that girl at Kuruman, I just feel you're going to be such a bright star in the next few years. Respect to both of the spinners I mentioned. Respect to all the spinners that spun on that day. I respect you all. Right now, we're going to hit up that big man. Yeah, you know what I'm talking about. The promoter behind the Vaal Spinfest. For all that don't know, Lefa is a great man with a huge personality and even a bigger smile. Thank you for coming, man. I really appreciate you coming through.
Pleasure, man. It's a pleasure to be here.
So, Lefa, we're going to have a conversation, man. I want the viewers to get to know you a little bit better. Most people know you. Your fame came from hosting the Vaal Spinfest.
Yes.
It's come to be known as the World Cup of Spinning. It's also the biggest event, I personally think, in South Africa when it comes to crowd attendance.
Yes.
I also know where it started from because I was luckily and honored to be your host. And it started from that little square,
yes,
and to the huge event that it is now.
Yes.
Tell me, what made you get into being a promoter for spinning, or what made you come up with the Vaal Spinfest?
Vic, let's start here. I've always liked spinning.
For sure.
I used to watch videos on YouTube, and I have to put it out there because I think people are calling me the sidekick of Magesh.
I think you're the bigger guy. You would be the hero because Magesh is a slightly skinnier guy. I'm just saying. I'm putting it out there. Respect to my boy Gesh.
Yes, yes. But I think Magesh is the biggest influence. He influenced Lefa to be involved in spinning.
Okay.
Because my love for spinning started when I saw Magesh spinning. I used to watch Magesh on YouTube.
Where was the first time you saw Magesh spin live, like in front of you, right there and then?
The first time I saw, I'm trying to think now. Where did I? Because the time when I joined spinning, Magesh went to exile.
He went on, let's not say exile.
Yes.
He diverted his focus to business.
Yes.
Okay, cool.
So I think the time when I saw Magesh spinning again, I think it has to be, where was it? Not because he came in on the first Vaal Spinfest.
Yeah, I know, I remember.
But he couldn't get in because it was too crowded.
Yeah, let's clarify that. The very first Vaal Spinfest was a little square,
yes,
on an airplane piece of strip,
yes,
in the Vaal.
Yes.
I was lucky enough and honored enough to host that event.
Yes.
And by 3 p.m. in that afternoon, there was no getting in as well as no getting out.
Sure.
It was packed.
Yes. I think, Vic, the whole idea, like I said, when I started spinning, and then I used to go to events.
Okay.
And on all these events, I used to ask myself, what is it that I can do better?
Up the game.
Yeah, up the game. And if we go to events, if we go to Bloemfontein, if we go to Kroonstad was still operating at that time, if we go to Velkom, every time we drive to Velkom or to any of those places that we're hosting, people used to ask us, like, where are you guys going? And for me, that was a concern. I said, if they hosting an event here and nobody knows about it, already there's a problem.
From a marketing aspect.
Yes.
Okay.
So when you get there, you can see the crowd is there, but only a small crowd.
The locals.
Yes, the locals.
From the local towns.
Yes,
the local
yes.
Support.
And I said to myself, but what is the problem here? But my answer was, when you came in, then people start asking you, where are you guys going? What are you guys doing? So I said, marketing on all these spinning events is the biggest problem. So
Back then.
Yes.
Yeah.
So one has to sort out the marketing part of it.
Absolutely.
So that's how the Vaal Spinfest was started. I said, I'm not gonna focus on a lot of things right now because I didn't know the ins and outs. But what I'm gonna focus on, it's only the marketing part of things.
So your point of view to improve the game
Yes.
was to market the event, not just the event, but the people partaking in the event, as in the spinners.
Yes, yes.
Did you, talking on that subject, did you just depend on social media platforms, or did you have a budget to invest in, let's say, street posters or some sort of advertising away from the social media?
Okay. Vic, in the Vaal Triangle, there were spinning events before. Mm-hmm. Like I said, I've picked up, I've did my own research when
Absolutely,
I went to these events. I didn't have a budget, I didn't have anything. I said, you know what, I'm gonna make sure that each and every one in the Vaal Triangle. Then I was only concentrating because I was still new. I never had face and social media.
Oh, okay.
Yes. So I said, I'm going to make sure that each and every one around Vaal Triangle knows about this event. And one of the other things that really pushed me, in the Vaal Triangle, we had an event. They used to call it the beach party.
Yes, I remember that.
So the beach party used to pull numbers. And on our first Vaal Spinfest, we were going head and head with a beach party.
Was it on the same date?
It was on the same date.
Wow.
So I said, you know what, I need to outsmart. I think I need to outsmart. I need to make sure that people talk more about the Vaal Spinfest than they talk about the beach party. So that's
It forced you to better your game as best as you could within the funds disposable.
Yes. And then, we did posters. We did a lot of posters, street posters, but also what we used to do, the Sunday sessions.
Yeah.
Everybody used to do, I've never seen people do sessions, but for me,
I give you credit to that.
Yes.
And it's just my opinion, but
Yes.
one thing I credit you, you had a great build-up campaign to your main event.
Yes.
And I credit you for having the first free spin sessions as every Sunday for a period of, let's say, 3 months until the main event.
Yes.
I think you did that really well, and I credit you for that.
Yes.
Because you gave the people a starters package.
Yes.
This is what it's going to look like, but 20 times better. And I think you did very well with it.
Okay, and also on the sessions, what I was trying to achieve is to slowly introduce the people in our area to the sport. You get them to like the sport. You get them to like the sport. They see it every Sunday. You're not charging them anything. But although it was a cost to me.
Yourself, absolutely.
I said, you know what? I'm gonna let them
engage.
Yes. For me, I said I want to give them a drug. When they get used to the drug, and then I'm gonna take it away.
Absolutely.
So a month before.
More like vitamins, not drugs.
Yes.
Vitamins, baby. Yeah.
So closer to the event, you take it away. So like now, there is that want. I want more. I want more. That need. Yes. So that was the whole point of the Sunday sessions.
So from that very small event that you had you managed to lock down the venue that you had the Vaal Spinfest at for the next 4 years. How did that come about? Because that, for me, was one of your biggest aces in the whole, was venue. You already had stands, you already had a pitch, a lot of stuff that other pitches don't have. Like, seating in an event is very, very important. You need seating for people to sit and be comfortable and enjoy. And you managed to get that when you got that venue. You want to tell us a little bit about that?
Okay. On my first event, on the 2013 event, Vic, it scared me
How many people came?
Yes.
Right? It was, listen, Lefa, it was crazy. That day was insane, bro.
We had to open the gates.
No, it was crazy, sure.
Because like 3 o'clock, you still see the queue. You said, we're not going to manage. Even the people, and then the committee or the municipality didn't want to support the event.
Sure.
That mentality.
Spinning is bad, illegal, hoodlers.
So I said, I'm not going to do another event at the airstrip if I can't find a different venue.
Correct.
Because you can see seating is a problem. Already people will start to say, no, I can't see, this one is in front of me. So I was driving around, and luckily enough, we're doing a photo shoot because I always said these ideas, and then say like, okay, how can we do this? How can we improve? I want to give you the same thing, which is spinning,
but in a better way.
But in a better way.
Better package.
Yes.
You know, like when you buy fancy lingerie for your girl.
Yes.
Lingerie is important, but the packaging that the lingerie comes on is even better, right?
Yes. So there was a build-up. We used to do photo shoots, and then we'll have models, we'll have different crews around the Vaal. So we're doing a photo shoot. I said, I need something like your abandoned buildings.
Yeah, retro.
Yes. So we're busy there, and then I was looking, I saw the stadium.
Sweet spot there.
So, and then while they were still busy taking the photos, and then I walked over, I said, this is the perfect venue.
I couldn't agree with you
I said,
more.
this is the perfect venue. I'm going to pursue this venue. And then I pursued the venue, and yeah, man, that's how Vaal Spinfest grew.
I think that is what made the Vaal Spinfest so special.
Yes.
You know, let me give the viewers a breakdown. So, Lefa managed to secure, it was basically an old athletic stadium that was a bit of a white elephant, wasn't being used, the municipality wasn't being used, the community really wasn't using it. But it had seating. It was an oval, basically oval shape, where the people would compete in athletics, and all around the stadium there was seating, which I think was the biggest thing to being the Vaal Spin's success, was that it had enough comfortable seating for everybody, and the seating wasn't flat.
Yes.
It was at an incline, so everybody could see their favorite spinner spinning. That for me was definitely one of the biggest reasons why the Vaal Spinfest was so successful.
Yes.
Another point I want to mention, you were also one of the very first promoters that used the photographer's influence, or the guys the media that covers spinning, you use their influence on social media to promote your event.
Yes.
What made you do that, or what ideas came about, and how did you come up with that?
Okay, today we see a lot of photographers, and but back then, the man that stood out for me was Dickie's Lounge.
Respect. I've got to say this. Dickie, listen to me, my man.
Yes.
From me, Vic Pardal, I got to give you credit, because for me, he was the first guy that blew up spinning, that put a lot of his own money, his own energy, and countless hours of editing and blowing up spinning on the major league. And I still credit him, and he's still a legendary figure in spinning.
Yes.
And I give you props there, because I promise
Thank you.
Dickie needs and deserves that respect. He was that man.
Yes.
Still is.
I looked, and then he was the man, because I used to see how he promoted events. But for me, I said Dickie was not getting this same level of support from the host. I mean, if he'd post something, event organizers will leave everything to say Dickie will do everything. But with
no support.
With me and Dickie, it was a partnership. And we used to sit around like late at night, okay, what is it that we can do this year? So it was a partnership, like we were working together like this.
Yeah, symbiotic relationship. Both of these guys were.
Yes. So Dickie was there. He was doing a good work on social media. And the pictures that he took, that he's still taking them even now, the videos that he used to upload. I said, this is the kind of support, or this is a marketing strategy that I need to make form part of the Vaal Spinfest.
Absolutely.
Yes. So for me, it was not only one thing. Social media, groundwork, marketing, you put them together, it's like a cake.
Complete
package. Yes, it's an ingredient. You have to put this ingredient and that ingredient.
For it to be a successful cake, otherwise it will be a flop.
Yes. I mean, you can't put... I still see it happening right now. People or the organizers tend to put more effort on social media than on groundwork market. You have to do all of them.
You know, I say all the time, Letha, like, social media has become an everyday part of our lives.
Yes.
But for me personally, it does not solve your advertising and marketing problems.
Yes.
Yes, it is a form or a stream which you should engage in because you have direct access to your target market. But it shouldn't be the only form of marketing or advertising your event.
Yes.
You should still have a budget to spend money on proper posters, approved by the council. And if you've got big funds, maybe, a really big billboard.
Yes.
Our sport has grown in such a rapid pace that it deserves that professional exposure.
Yes.
I agree 100%.
I think one of the other things that stood out for Vaal Spinfest in 2014, because in 2014, I said, this year we're going bigger. It was the first event on top of your beach parties and everything. It was the first event around Vaal Triangle, I think in the spinning industry as a whole, to be on a billboard.
Yeah.
I used to, and then we ran a campaign, like, everybody that drives close to that billboard, you must take a picture and tag us on social media.
So you already started engaging actively with your audience.
And I remember with that billboard, people now started taking you serious. Hey, this thing is big, man. If these people can put up a billboard, and that simply means this event.
Because now you're conducting yourself as a professional sport and a professional businessman.
Yes.
You're taking a grassroots level event and you're saying, right, this is what we love doing. This is spinning.
Yes.
I'm not going to change spinning, but now we're putting it on a platform on a professional basis.
Yes.
This is where it deserves to be.
Yes.
And you say that was a success for you. It worked in your favor.
It was a big success. And Vic, the biggest secret for Vaal Spinfest is marketing.
I agree with you, man. You did a great job.
Nothing more. And if you remember, I think it was still in 2014, we used to drive around. We came to see you to do, I don't know what you call it, a pilot, but we used to drive to spinners. Magesh, you, everybody, to say that, okay, this is Vic Pardal, catch me live on the 1st of August.
Yes.
So I think that it created, what I like about Vaal Spinfest and the whole thing is we create that hype. Everyone is like, even somebody that doesn't like spinning.
They're going to go just to experience it.
Yes, I said, why is this? Okay, spinning, I've seen spinning, but why this particular one? So for me, that was the main thing, that we wanted to achieve when we were doing the Vaal Spinfest champion.
Tell me from a promoter's point of view, you're also one of the very first events that invited a very large group of spinners.
Yes.
You would have a normal spin event, you'd have 20 to 30 spinners, and that's a really good event.
Yes.
But you were already pulling numbers of 55 and 60 invited spinners, not just anybody open. You had specifically invited them and said, listen, I want you to be a part of my event. How was that logistically? Was it tricky to engage and book all these spinners? Did you get any hardships or any hiccups from getting all these spinners in one show?
Okay, you know what was the other thing? Because I was not on social media before the Vaal Spinfest.
Okay.
So, but with spinning, and then I became involved in social media. I said, for me, I look at each and every spinner as unique.
Absolutely.
And and you have your followers as a spinner. As Lefa, you have your own followers. As Austin or as Tim Numbi, as all the spinners, everybody has their own followers. And if I can get your followers, my followers, his followers, and their followers to come on that event, and then you'll have achieved your goal. Absolutely. So the other thing that stood out for me said, have all these people, let it be a different kind. Then I said, let it be the Makufe of spinning.
So what were the hiccups that you experienced as a promoter? Any lessons that you learned? I heard there were maybe some fake tickets being printed by Copy Ticket. Is that true? It must be true because I can see you quite taken aback. It's a big event. It must come with a lot of hiccups and lessons that you learned. Unfortunately, that maybe you had to pay for.
Vic, you know what? The 2016 Vaal Spinfest, it nearly took me to the streets.
Okay, so let me just clarify this for our viewers. The 2016 Vaal Spinfest attracted rounded off number of 22,000 people. More than that.
More than that.
So let me say this again. the 2016 Vaal Spinfest attracted more than 22,000 spectators, equivalent to some of the derby games these days.
Yes.
Because if Chiefs play Pirates, if teams aren't going, they're attracting maybe numbers of 22,000 people.
Yes.
So tell me, you definitely got a story to tell me. Tell me about these fake tickets and tell me about the lessons that you learned from hosting such a big event.
It was the biggest event
Ever.
And it was the biggest loss ever.
Oh, wow. So you got to say that again, because there's a lot of people, Lefa, that think, sure, you got to say that again, because let me tell you, I'm in these circles and there's a lot of people who are thinking, oh man, this Lefa boy, he's hitting that cash, bro. He's turning good money, because people automatically go to an event and they, in layman's term, they're like, oh no, there's maybe 10,000 people, 10,000 people times 150 Rand. What people don't realize is how much was the fencing, how much was the security, how much was the jock, the ambulance, the VIP, all the marketing, all this ground staff, etc., etc., etc. But in saying that, I'm taken aback, because I thought you would have, even with all that, I thought you would have still made a profit or been successful. You're telling me it was that bad of a loss?
Vic, I would have made a lot of money.
A good profit.
Yeah, good profit. I'll put it. But Vic, people must understand one thing. With Masiza, there's absolutely nothing.
No, we understand that. You have to build toilets, security, fencing, all that is being hired at a cost.
And also the build-up to the event also costs money.
You're absolutely, no doubt.
Yes, but Vic, like I said, we also came, I remember a lot of people, like when I started with the compu ticket story, people laughed at me and said like, no, it has never been done in spinning. You're not gonna do it.
Once again, paving the way. That's what you're doing. You're showing these guys.
I've done it, and then everybody's doing it. But I remember the very first day, I was told it can never be done. But fast forward, Vic, I'd say people who really paid or who really bought tickets, I think it was about 6,000 or 7,000.
From copy ticket.
From copy ticket. And now, if you do, like I didn't see all of this because I kept phoning at the gate. I said, what's happening? I see a lot of people are coming in. How are we doing there? You need to check.
You're keeping in touch with what's going on in the event.
And I said, no, a lot of people have bought tickets. And Vic, you know what? When you're in that situation, and it will also happen to you and you wouldn't notice. Let me tell you how these people do these things. I remember at one point, I was at the main gate. You know what they say to you? They'll come to you and say, Vic, there were 4 of us. I bought 4 tickets. So now these 3 are not here. So can I please sell these tickets here?
Oh.
What did I say?
Yeah.
Yes, I sell those tickets there. Yeah.
You're taking that person as being an honest person.
Yes. But in the meantime, they checking if you are aware
of what is going on or what the scam is.
Yes.
Wow.
Vic, I believe those people had a car, had a printer, had everything there, and they were selling tickets there.
Wow.
If you ask people, they'll tell you they bought tickets like 40 rands, 30 rands. Vic, that was the biggest loss. That was the biggest event.
Lesson you learned, though.
Yeah, no, the biggest event.
Silly question, though. So the people at the gate, at the copy ticket, weren't they scanning a ticket or have had a scanner or something?
And those scanners, people will agree with me on this one. If you use a compu ticket scanner, I'd say non-stop for 30 minutes or to an hour.
Gets hot
it just freezes, Vic. You can, and now your queue gets bigger and bigger and bigger. And people
you want to get
okay. And it's like, okay, let's relieve the pressure.
Gate.
But in the meantime, you let it. But I'll say those scanners were not working.
Yeah, but
they were. Yes.
It's also on a hot day, technical equipment, if they overheat, they tend to freeze regardless.
But now, also the people are getting irritated there.
No, I understand
because
that.
If you stop in the queue, you want to fix your scanners, then you're causing stampede there by the gate.
So I'd say you learn 2 lessons. First of all, you got to catch what's happening with your whatever copy ticket you decide to go with, and you got to have a bigger gate if you're expecting bigger crowds.
Yes.
My thing is a part of your emergency plan that you presented to local council is always entry and exit points.
Yes.
And obviously, the more people sit in their cars, the more irritable they get. So you need to try and get them in the event as possible. Yes. So as a promoter of a very successful, if not the most successful event, spin event in our country, what advice do you have for up-and-coming promoters or even established promoters that are having events on a regular? What advice do you have to them that will help them up the game or that can learn from your mistakes?
First of all, like with CompuTicket, I'll say it out there.
Yeah, speak freely,
Yes,
bro.
yeah. CompuTicket, they need to be careful, and you need to have people patrolling around,
Making sure that they're selling fake tickets.
Yeah, nobody's selling fake tickets, and your people that you can trust, they can be around there checking for people that are selling any kind of a ticket there. So that's the main thing, because now I see everyone or the game now, everybody's saying CompuTicket. So people need to be very careful on that one.
Okay, so the question I've been wanting to ask you since the beginning.
Yeah.
What's happening for Vaal Spinfest 2018?
Vic, you know what? Okay, I'd say Vaal Spinfest is taking a lot of, how can I say, the financial strain.
Okay.
It's very risky.
Absolutely. Events are risky business.
Yeah, but I think with Vaal Spinfest, you're putting a lot of money, you're putting a lot of effort. You know, people ask me that question, and I've been avoiding that question for quite some time now.
We're asking because you run such a successful marketing campaign. By now, you've already been marketing the event for 3 months.
Yes.
So you've been very quiet.
Yes.
And obviously, a lot of people look forward to the Vaal Spinfest.
Yes.
So I just wanted to know.
Okay, let me clarify one thing. People say there's a development happening around Masiza. People say, no, it's the development. They closed Masiza down. No, Masiza is not closed down. Tomorrow I can say, let's go and spin there.
So you still have access to the venue?
Yes, we still have access to the venue. But what we said is we want to cook something different now. We want to cook something better now. I think if we have time, like now, because there's a whole lot of things, like we need more sponsors onto the event. But the time that we have, it's too short.
Tight.
It's very tight. So I think there won't be a 2018 Vaal Spinfest, but there'll definitely be a 2019 Vaal Spinfest.
Wow, that's a big revelation. A lot of people are going to be disappointed.
Yeah, I know they're going to be disappointed, but we're doing this for the good of the event, for the image of the game. We want to take the game to the next level.
One more question. Will it still be held at Masiza, or are you going to have a new location?
Masiza will still be our venue.
Lefa, that's all I got to say, man. Thank you for engaging in conversation with me.
Thank you very much for having me.
You're a great inspiration. A lot of people look up to you. You know, you're the kind of guy that no matter whose event you're at, a lot of people come up to you. You're always smiling and you're always well respected. And I thank you for being a great mentor to the various promoters that look up to you. Because you have set that bar. You've done it. You know, you are the promoter with the most successful event. You do have the biggest crowd attendance in the form of spinners. And I just want to say thank you for your contribution to spinning, man.
Okay, thank you very much. Thanks for having me. Thanks, man.
Thank you very much.
Thanks,
appreciate it.
Cheers.
So, man, sure, there's big news there. Apparently, there's not going to be a Vaal Spinfest for 2018. But with that comes a flip coin. You know, 2019 is going to be absolutely massive. I'm expecting great things from Lefa and his crew. Ladies and gentlemen, join us next week, same time, same place. 9 a.m. on a Friday, we drop a fresh new podcast just for you.